Welcome to Reach Out, the program that highlights the amazing work carried out by local nonprofits, the wonderful people who lead these organizations, and the committed volunteers who give of themselves but wind up receiving even more. I'm Bernadette Wagner, co-director of Volunteer Washington County, and my guest today is Rebecca Massie, the director of the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts. Rebecca has a BA and MA in art history from the University of Virginia and has also worked as the director of the Sweetbriar College Museum and Galleries. As the director of the museum, she strives to fulfill its mission, which is to collect, preserve, to interpret, and to exhibit art of lasting quality for the citizens of Hagerstown and Washington County. Thank you for joining me, Rebecca.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Can you tell us just a little bit about the history of the museum?
Well, sure. The museum has actually been in operation for over 80 years. We celebrated our big 80th anniversary last year. And the museum has been an active art collecting institution, exhibiting, providing educational programming, and lots of diverse programs for that entire period of time. We're especially known for classes for children and offer a regular free Saturday morning workshop.
And when do the classes occur? What time do they occur?
They begin at 10 in the morning and on Saturdays.
And are they drop-in or do parents need to register?
They do need to register, yes, so that we have a sense of how many. And we do have, we can't have an infinite number, though we'd love to, of students at once for their own enjoyment and education.
And I know that the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts has a volunteer group called the Singer Society. Could you tell us a little bit about what they do and how somebody who might be interested in volunteering at the museum could join?
Absolutely. The Singer Society has also been in existence for nearly 20 years. And before the Singer Society existed, of course, there have always been volunteers at the museum. I don't think there's a museum alive and running today that isn't fueled by the activity of volunteers. In fact, we calculated last year that over 10,000 hours were given to the museum by volunteers on all different levels.
And what kind of jobs do the volunteers do?
Well, they do everything from gardening, which I know that you have a gardening person talking with you later this morning, but also we have volunteers who help with the educational programming. They greet the public. They staff and help run the museum shop, and they also give active tours for children and tour groups who arrive and are interested in learning more about the collections.
I just saw in the newspaper recently that you had a lecture by somebody talking about different aspects of art history in the area, and they were he was known as the Artist of the Forest, is that what?
Oh yes, that would have been the Whitridge lecture by Ray Snauffer. Ray is one of our lead docents at the Art Museum, and that's a fancy word for tour guide, an informed and educated and well-researched tour guide. He takes a great interest in the museum's excellent collection of American painting and is a great researcher.
And do these lectures occur at a regular time, or are they a certain day of the week or a certain time?
Well, his was as part of the Singer Society's regular meeting, and the singers meet every second Thursday at 10 in the morning, and guests are welcome at any time, and we're always recruiting new members of the Singer Society to help with the life and work of the museum.
Oh, that's terrific. I know the Art Museum has a couple big events coming up. Can you tell us about the Art in Bloom project or event that will take place on March 23rd?
Yes, this is the week. Everything is bustling at the museum. There are 24, I believe, floral designers, and these are largely women, but also there are, I believe, 4 youth organizations that are participating this year, who will be assigned a work of art in the museum's collection or in one of the exhibitions to interpret. And using their skills of color, texture, line, design, they interpret the work of art using floral materials. This, of course, is a very transient exhibition because the materials will wilt and fade over time. So there's a great preview reception on Friday evening, and then all day Saturday. This exhibit is free and open to the public. It's quite splendid.
Oh, that sounds terrific. And you have 24 different groups participating? That sounds great. Do they get to pick their artwork, or will they be assigned?
Well, actually, there's a team between the Garden Club, the Hagerstown Garden Club, who is the sponsor this year, and the museum. curatorial staff who go up through the museum and they select the works of art to be interpreted.
Okay.
One is a Flemish chair from the 16th century. That's a big challenge. Another is a photograph that was made this year for the annual competition, the Cumberland Valley Photography Salon.
Well, that is a really diverse
It's very
kind
diverse.
of exhibit there. Well, that sounds great. And I know coming up in March, later in March, you have Tim Rowland is going to be doing a presentation at or lecture
Yes,
at the museum.
The many-sided story of Tim Rowland. I had read his column in the newspaper, I guess, for 3 years before I knew that he was actually an expert on the Civil War. He will be speaking about why the Anaconda Plan would have worked. And I think there's a little bit of a punchline there because it didn't work as it turned out.
Right.
So he'll be telling us the story of what happened. And that actually is a rescheduled event. It will be next Thursday night, excuse me, the 28th of March at 7 in the museum.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's a dinner that folks can attend prior to.
Yep, all they need to do is let us know they're interested in coming.
And that's a $20 fee, is that correct?
Yes, $20 for dinner, and if you're a member of the museum, the lecture is free. If not, it's a mere $5.
Okay, well that's good to know. I'm sure some people would want to participate in that. And you also, tell us about the weaving workshop that you have planned.
One of the historic relationships the museum has had has been with the Regional Weavers Guild. And periodically, the Weavers Guild takes a great interest in doing a special workshop, open both to their community and to a broader regional community. This is one such workshop. The instructor is actually a professor in textile art at University of Cornell, and she'll be traveling to Hagerstown to spend a day on color and design and weaving. It should be quite interesting.
And we're almost out of time, but I was wondering if you could just mention your raffle.
Oh goodness, every year we have a raffle as a fundraiser for the museum. The top prize is donated by R. Bruce Carson Jewelers, and it's a $5,000 shopping spree, but there's only one day left to buy tickets.
I'd like to thank you, Rebecca, for joining us on today's show, and thank you, our viewing audience, for watching. I'm sure you have a better understanding of how the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts enriches our community. Visit the museum today and give yourself the chance to be educated, enriched, and inspired. Remember, if art is your passion, visit Volunteer Washington County's website and find a volunteer opportunity that taps your interests and talents. You'll be glad you did.